Hello everyone, so these are going to be the examples for section 3.3. I'm hoping to try and do two problems in this video. We'll do one where we're expanding and one where we're condensing, and hopefully we have enough time to do both. So I picked number 14 because this is a heck of a problem here. There's lots of expanding to do, okay? So this is going to have multiple steps. So let me go ahead and write it down. Okay, so each factor of this is going to basically have its own logarithm. So we'll have each of these in a separate logarithm, okay? So first I'm going to separate the fraction. One of our properties is the quotient property, and it tells us that a logarithm of a fraction, division here, can be separated into two logarithms that are being subtracted. Two logarithms being subtracted. So there's the first logarithm minus the second logarithm. Okay. Then each of these logarithms are going to be broken up further because they have a product, right? This one has 3 pieces being multiplied. This one has 2 pieces being multiplied. So we will separate those into addition. Okay. So we have log of 100 plus log of x to the 5th. Product gets separated into addition. That's the product rule. Cube root of 1 minus x. Now this subtraction sign, we're going to be really careful with it. It goes to this whole thing. So when I split this into 2 logarithms, eventually I'm going to distribute this subtraction sign to both of them. Like that. So eventually this will distribute and they will both be negative, which makes sense because they were both on the bottom of a fraction. They should both be negative by the time we're done. So the last step I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify where I can simplify, and I'm going to use the power rule to move my exponents to the front. So these are all log base 10. If it doesn't give a base, that's automatically base 10. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, 10 to what exponent would give me 100? Well, that would be 2. 10 squared is 100. So this simplifies to 2. The others I can't simplify. I can't simplify log of 3, mostly because it's just an ugly decimal. And the others I can't simplify because they have variables. But this one I could simplify. The exponent moves to the front based on the power rule. This is a 1/3 exponent. Okay, a cube root is the same thing as a 1/3 exponent. So that 1/3 is going to move to the front, just like the 5 did. Okay, I'm going to distribute this negative to the log 3 and to this one. And then that's it. You can't simplify this any further. There's no splitting of subtraction or addition like that. We only split products and quotients. So then you just have to go over here and be super, super careful typing this in, because obviously it's really long and you can make mistakes typing it in pretty easily. If you type log, it automatically recognizes that that is a logarithm. So you should be good there. Hopefully I typed this correctly. And I only really need parentheses when it's multiple pieces in the logarithm, because I have to tell the computer both of these are inside the log. When it was just a 3, I didn't need parentheses. Good. Okay, so now we definitely have time. I want to do a condensing problem. So we're going to jump to problem 24. So this is a condensing problem. Okay, so if you give me 1 second, I'm going to write the new problem up. Okay, so I have this problem written down. Hopefully I wrote it correctly. Pretty sure I did. One thing people will sometimes do is they will kind of just out of habit, they'll want to distribute this 1/5. You can do it that way, but it's not necessary. If we hold off on that for a minute, you'll see it'll be easier to work with right at the end as opposed to distributing now. So I'm going to actually leave the 1/5 out here for now and just work on the inside stuff for a second. One thing I'm going to do is this 4, since it's out front, I'm going to move it to being the exponent up here. So basically I'm using the same rules, but now we're going the other direction. We're condensing. So before we took the exponents and moved them to the front, now we're taking the numbers in the front and moving them back to being exponents. Okay, so we're going the other direction. Okay, so then I am going to start condensing where we have the subtraction. Okay, so, we'll leave it like that. So we have this first one is positive, so it's going to be on top, okay, because it's a positive term. The ones over here that are both negative, those are both going to be on the bottom. If you remember the last problem we just did, the negative ends up distributing when there's 2 things on the bottom. So this is like it's already been distributed. So the x ends up on the bottom and the x squared minus 4. Okay, so now this 1/5 would become an exponent just like that 4 became an exponent. Okay, so it'd be like a 1/5 out here. So if we got rid of that, it'd be a 1/5 out here. Now, what does a fraction exponent really mean? Well, that is going to be a 5th root. Okay, so a 1/2 is a square root, a 1/3 is a cube root. This is a 1/5, so that's a 5th root. Okay, and then we just have our fraction in here. That's supposed to be a 4. The line got messed up. Okay, so the 1/5, if you had distributed it, would have meant you would have had like a 5th root on each piece individually, which is okay. I mean, it's still correct. It just would have been a lot uglier because you would have had a 5th root, a 5th root, a 5th root. Like you would have had it all over this thing. If you leave it outside like this, that means you just have one big 5th root and it's a little prettier. So we have the natural log of the 5th root. So I'm going to choose this button. It's the 5th root of a fraction. So we got to be real careful with this. X plus 5 to the 4th power. Remember that line messed me up. It's not supposed to be there like that. And then x times x squared minus 4. Make sure that looks right. It's 1 big 5th root, so you want to make sure you've got it typed in the right place so that it's over the whole fraction. Okay, hope that helps. Those were 2 of the harder examples from this section. Most of them are much easier and have fewer steps. If you have any questions, let me know.